Welcome, Mr. Gnome, and welcome to this crypto update. As you can see, the price of Bitcoin is now $105,000, exactly like we predicted in the previous crypto update. As you can see here, I said that Bitcoin will most likely reach new all-time high this week, and $105,000 is the price that we're aiming for, and that's exactly what happened. Now, in this video, the question that we have is obviously where will the price go next, and what can we expect from the crypto markets in the coming days and weeks. So we will take a look at the fundamentals, the news, and the technical analysis to determine where price is likely to go next. Before we do anything else, this channel is sponsored by Bybit. So if you want to get started using leverage or do spot trading, Bybit is the exchange where I do my leverage trading. And with the code denome, you get 10% discount fee for your first 30 days, and you can get up to $30,000 in welcome rewards, depending how much money you deposit. And there's also always constant competitions where you can earn even more money. Now back to the video. So first off, let's talk about the most important piece of news, and that is actually this one here. So NASDAQ has announced that MicroStrategy will be included in the NASDAQ 100 list. And what this means is that index investors, index funds will have to buy MicroStrategy stock, basically boosting the value of the stock. And also that means that MicroStrategy will be able to buy even more Bitcoin. And this MicroStrategy's strategy that I covered in a previous video, watch that video if you don't understand how that works. That strategy is now cementing itself as a valid strategy in the financial world. So this is very, very important. And when will MicroStrategy be included in this list? That will be December 23rd. So you can imagine how many people this week will basically buy MicroStrategy stock. They will buy Bitcoin in anticipation for this listing and for all this index money to start flowing into MicroStrategy stock as well as into crypto. So this week, based on this news alone, should be quite bullish that people want to front run this market. And after MicroStrategy is listed, I think a little bit of the excitement will fall down. So after this listing on December 24th, 25th, I don't know how the bank holidays work in USA, but anyway, after this listing, I do expect that there may be a small dump in the price, and then basically everyone will start buying Bitcoin once again, simply for how the market psychology works. So this was the first piece of news. The second piece of news that we got is that Trump confirmed again his plan to implement the Bitcoin reserve, strategic Bitcoin reserve plan, which he has said in his speech in the Bitcoin conference in Miami that there's a good chance that Bitcoin will overtake gold's market cap of $15 trillion. So that would practically take the price of Bitcoin uh, up multiple times. So a chief executive of Wall Street, he's admitting that there will be Bitcoin FOMO this year and next year. And in a CNBC interview, when they were interviewing people for the price predictions for Bitcoin, there were some analysts saying that $250,000 is what they expect for next year. So all this is quite bullish, and I do expect a lot of money to be flowing into crypto as everything is getting hot for now. So that's it for the news. Now let's talk about the fundamentals. So obviously what we have seen is massive inflows into Bitcoin ETFs. So throughout all of this dumping and flushing out the leverage, there's only been positive net inflows into Bitcoin ETFs in the United States. All these green numbers, 222 million, $597 million, $428 million. All of these are positive inflows into Bitcoin ETFs. And I do expect that this trend will continue at least through this week. So let's see how that actually turns out. But that's my expectation here. Next, let's go over to sentiment first. So when we go and take a look at sentiment, you can see the supply on exchanges keeps continuing to go down, which is obviously quite good. We saw a little bit inflow go into the exchanges here, but that did not stop the price. People just want to get exposure to Bitcoin, and now the exchange reserve value has started to decline once again. So this is obviously bullish for the price of Bitcoin. And actually, let me refresh this page here because we may have a new number. We don't, but it was worth a shot anyway. Funding rates, on the other hand, people are a little bit more cautious to use funding right now. And that means that the markets are not in a not too heated yet, so the price has way potential to continue to go to the upside as well, based on funding rates here. So futures markets have a lot of buying to do from my perspective. The stablecoin minting usually holds over the weekend. We saw a little bit inflows into stablecoins over the weekend anyway. So I do expect that we see another hockey stick to the upside on this week for new stablecoins on the market. One more good news that I saw here is when we take a look at profit taking on chain, when we take a look at how much Bitcoin is being transferred on chain over the weekend, at least there hasn't really been any profit taking at all. So we have to even go to like a December 11th, December 12th, and December 13th, and practically no selling at the end of last week. So all of the profit taking was already taking place here, and now people are in hodl mode again, and that's basically what allowed Bitcoin price to continue breaking these all-time highs as well. So this is very, very nice to see. Let's see on the second market update or crypto update I do this week how this will change, but at least as of now it seems quite good. Going down here, let me see. Uh, we are seeing a little bit exchange of hands of Bitcoin. So here you can see the blue line and the red line, they basically overtook each other. And that's basically your mega whales, wallets that have more than 10,000 Bitcoin and wallets between 1,000 and 10,000 Bitcoin. Those basically flipped each other, and everybody else practically has been hodling and not selling their Bitcoin on chain over the past week or so. So uh, this is basically just institutional investors changing hands. I don't know how else to explain it. So nothing too interesting in that as well. Now, going into the short-term analysis, and let's take a look at the Bitcoin liquidation heat map. Even though I said that the funding rates have been resetted and there's not a lot of FOMO, what we can see on the 1 week view, we can see quite a bit of long positions starting to fill up here, and the longs would get liquidated here basically below $100,000. So if we see a flush back to 100K and maybe even 98K at some point, I would not be surprised to see less than $100,000 price of Bitcoin once again, just to flush out these greedy longs that have their liquidation prices at these price levels here. But I don't think that will happen this week because the momentum is simply too strong. But after this week, maybe next week after MicroStrategy has been listed on the NASDAQ 100, we may see that. I don't know if that will happen immediately. Could happen in January, on the first week of January as well. But now these are here that you have to understand that this is acting as a magnet, but it doesn't have to go there immediately as long as the bullish momentum continues to go to the upside. Now, back to the chart here, what we can see here is obviously the same thing I showed you in the previous market update, which is this RSI. The momentum indicator has this strong trend line to the upside, and we had this bounce from the trend line. So what I'm now expecting is for RSI to actually climb higher here. And while the RSI climbs higher, what we want to see a higher high on the RSI here. We do not want to see a lower high, because once we see a lower high, that usually means that the trend will fall below here. And when the trend falls below here, that's pretty much, we may see, even though we see a smaller high on the lower high on the RSI momentum here, it doesn't mean that we won't go higher. It simply means that the momentum is slowing down, and you cannot really expect higher highs after that as much. So once we start seeing those lower highs, that will get me a little bit worried, or when we break below this trend line here. But for now, I do believe that this will continue to go to the upside. So now going into a little bit shorter time frame, you can see these few key levels here. You saw this trend line here, which was still intact going into the weekend, and that basically pushed the prices higher. And this is the previous all-time high level here. And then we had this breakout support level here. So at least at some point, I do believe that this trend line will go to the downside, and this box area here hopefully will act as support. But like I showed you before, it's likely that we go and liquidate these long positions here at some moment in time. But for now, I don't know how high Bitcoin will go this week. I'm still longing here, kind of expecting some sort of resistance. We got that from $106,600 or $500 here. So now, even in the little bit shorter time frame, actually, I think we can see it here already. The RSI went into way overbought territory, so I would expect a little bit slowing down of the price. The money exchanges hands maybe over the maybe we see one more push to the upside today as people pile up on the MicroStrategy news, and then we may see a little bit slowing down and then one more push to the upside. That could be quite a violent move, by the way. I don't know exactly, I don't have a price target for that, but then I'm just enjoying the show basically right now. No reason to sell until we basically break below here, or we see like a massive move to like 115k or even 120k. If we see like a massive pull like that to the upside, then basically it's time to temporarily take profits out of the table. But right now, I'm just locked in, waiting for a massive move in price. Now, talking about altcoins, I do want to mention when we go to the Bitcoin dominance chart here, and we go to the daily view, Bitcoin dominance chart simply shows us if Bitcoin is, or the crypto market is in a altcoin season or not. And we got the altcoin season basically when we got broken to the downside on this price level here. So before that, we were 1.5 years in this growing trend of Bitcoin dominance. And now we got the breakdown. We are testing this breakout level here. And now when we go to the 1 hour view, you can see that the price is trying to go back to the box here, back to the trend line. But I do expect that the mania is always, or at the moment, it is also towards Bitcoin. But I also believe with altcoins, there's a strong move coming to the downside on Bitcoin dominance, which is bullish for altcoins. So currently, even though I'm bullish for Bitcoin, most of my positions are in altcoins because I'm expecting a move to the downside here. So let's see if that will happen or not. If we break above this one, then I may have to change my stance. But now what I'm expecting is further downside on the Bitcoin dominance here and an altcoin season. Previously, when something like this happened, let's go back to the daily view here. Let's go back here. This is pretty much what happened previously. So here was the trend line. And once the trend line got broken to the downside, all of this here in 2021, this was the altcoin season. This is when altcoins outperformed Bitcoin by a mile. And right now we're kind of teasing if we will have the altcoin season or not. But even if we don't have it, I don't think altcoins will lag Bitcoin too much behind. So for these reasons, that's why I'm quite bullish on altcoins at the moment. Now, I could completely be wrong here as well. It doesn't mean that I'm 100% right, but this is practically my analysis at the moment. So that's pretty much everything I had for this crypto update. Again, as a reminder, I'm affiliated and sponsored by Bybit, so thank you for sponsoring this video. If you want Bybit, make sure to use the code denome. And if you are using leverage, I saw some people who are using my affiliate link get liquidated with their capital. Make sure to not use more than 2x leverage on your first trades, and they have an excellent demo account where you can try out leverage trading completely free. If you win money, you don't get to keep any of those profits. If you lose money, you also don't get to take any of those losses on yourself. So if you want to try out leverage trading, use the demo account first and then start with lower leverage like 2x or 3x. But other than that, Bybit, in my opinion, is the best leverage exchange on the planet. That's why I use that one. for my trading. It also has an amazing sub account feature. So if you're using trading bots like 3 commas or something else, you can set up a sub account and do your bot trading on a sub account. So that's excellent also on Bybit. That's it for this video. I hope you like this content. Consider subscribing to the channel. I will see you on the next video. Thanks and bye bye.